As these Bruins prepare for their Stanley Cup final match against the St. Louis Blues, I quickly, and I say quickly because I know a lot of people prefer me to focus on what's actually happening on the game, I want to talk about the real Bruins and how they lost their first game under interim head coach Bruce Cassidy to the Anaheim Ducks. And goddammit, I stayed up late to watch that game, so I am going to talk about it. Although first things first, our lineup is the same. We are fully healthy and good to go. But that Anaheim-Boston game, number one, it was goalie interference on Brad Marchand. If his skates were outside the crease when the contact was made with the stick, I would say, yeah, they got shafted. But the challenge, boy, did that challenge kill them, as later on in that second period, Nick Ritchie is like 5 feet offsides. The refs somehow miss it, and Anaheim go on to score on that same exact play. So, yeah, bitter pill to swallow. I genuinely don't know if a team has been burned by the coach's challenge as much as the Bruins have this year. There have been some teams that have faced some terrible officiating. The Bruins are one of them. Toronto, absolutely one of those teams. But the challenge specifically, my God, have the Bruins been burned by it. They kind of fell apart at the end of the third period, which sucked, by the way, as you get a look at St. Louis's ratings, that defense. That makes me think we might be in a good spot. But the big thing I wanted to talk about, Jonathan Bernier. You weren't even playing John Gibson. You were playing Jonathan Bernier. And that, in fairness, is the Jonathan Bernier that every Leafs fan was really hoping that they would get. That Jonathan Bernier is an undisputed starter. He stood on his head the whole game. The problem is he doesn't have that consistency, and that does not represent his play on a game-to-game basis. But props to Jonathan Bernier. He stole that game for the Ducks. Okay, I got that all out of the way. It was like 2 minutes. See, we're good. The St. Louis lineup. And some interesting names in this lineup, that is for sure. We start off on the top line with Jaden Schwartz. 2 goals and 11 assists in this postseason. He had a really good regular season, 71 points in 79 games. He has 13 points in 16 games. His top line center, Jordan Kyrou, again, someone else who was undervalued by this game originally. When I edited the rosters, he has 13 points in 16 games. And of course, they have Vladimir Tarasenko as well. 18 points in this postseason thus far. Despite Schwartz being a sniper, he obviously has the puck skills, as well does Jordan Kyrou, to set up Tarasenko. So that's going to be interesting to deal with. Second line is Robbie Fabry, who's at an 86 overall. He has 13 points. His center, Tage Thompson, again, a created player, up to an 85 overall, doing well with 12 points in this postseason. And then, you know what he's going to do to us. You know what he is going to do to us in this postseason. Oh no. Oh no. 13 points for the 84 overall Jake DeBrusk. Hasn't gotten any better. He hasn't gotten any better, but he is putting up the points for the Blues. Third line, you have Dmitry Yaskin, up to 2 points. I believe it's Yaskin. It might be Jaskin. I'm going to say Yaskin. His center is Yuri Laterra, 5 points this postseason, and Alex Chiasson with 4 points as well. We get to the fourth line, David Perron, 5 points this postseason. Connor Bleakley, 5 points this postseason. And Drew Stafford with 4. He's an 81 at 36 years old. So offensively, are they the strongest team on paper? Not quite, but there's a lot of good depth there. And, I mean, aside from the first line, that second and third line, probably equally as dangerous. But let's take a look at the defense, because that was interesting, at least for a rating. You have their top pairing, Tommy Vannelli, doing well so far this postseason. He plays with Kevin Shattenkirk, and no Alex Pietrangelo. They stuck with Shattenkirk. You have Justin Braun, who's down to an 82 at 35 years old. He's on that second pairing with Colton Parayko. And the third pairing is Vince Dunn, only an 80, with forward JT Compher. So who is injured, or are they just dumb enough to not call somebody up? That is the question. Oh, no, they still have Pietrangelo. He's injured. Okay, well, that's scary, but that's also nice that he is injured at the moment. Scratches Luke Coleman and Kevin Stenlund, an old name from the Nord Series. And then, of course, the goaltending, as we saw, is absurd. They have Evan Fitzpatrick, who has a .926 save percentage. He has played every game this postseason. He's on a hell of a deal for a 90 overall. Sergei Bobrovsky is the backup. Look at how much money they've invested in that tandem. And in fairness, for that tandem, that is somewhat cheap. But we need to take a look, and we need to see how long Pietrangelo is out for. Because if he's out for this entire series, that's lovely. Why they wouldn't just send down, I think it was Coleman or Stenlund, to call up a defenseman, who knows? Oh wait, I know. It's because that's not programmed into the game for some reason. I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, that's... I get that I'm critical of this game a lot, but something like that. Like, why are the AI GMs not like, oh yeah, we'll just send down Coleman and call up a defenseman? Why is that not programmed? I guess because Coleman would lose morale, and the game knows that the game has to play by the same rules as I do as far as morale, and how screwy that is, I don't know. I don't know. But Pietrangelo is out until the 29th, so we should, we should avoid him for most of this series if we are lucky. So that is good. I should say, too, I've been thinking about how critical I am of EA lately, which probably doesn't help me too much, Not that I expect at any point to get help from EA, and that's not taking shots at any YouTubers that do, but yeah, I've been awfully critical of them. And aside from EA, that can also just get you a certain reputation as someone who just whines and bitches about the game, which, in case, fair play, because I do whine and bitch about the game, but there is, as we'll sim the first period, and that is scoreless. We'll sim the second period. That is also scoreless, so that'll set up this third period, and I'm going to go on another tangent here, so I'm sorry if I don't talk specifically about the game. There is a lot, of course, to complain about when it comes to this game, as Alex DeBrincat gets a power play goal, the first goal of the game, on Evan Fitzpatrick. There's a lot to complain about with this game, and that kind of ties into why I do the content that I do, kind of more of the entertaining side as opposed to trying to make tutorials, which I've done in the past, and I was thinking about this. That's why I'm talking about it as Tarasenko scores. And we're going to overtime from a terrible angle. Tarasenko ties this game with 53 seconds to go. I was thinking about this. If you look at my tutorials, they're pretty much all, position-based, X's and O's, where to play instead of how to play. Because with this game, I don't feel comfortable telling people, like, oh, if you do this, you'll be good. As far as that goes, the only thing I can tell you is Clayton Keller just scored a shorty in overtime, and we take game one. Way to go. God damn, that would have been a hell of a game to focus on the entire time. If I can get my train of thought back. My tutorials are X's and O's, and going any further beyond that, I feel like I'd be disingenuous, because you can have people, and that's not taking a shot at people who do tutorial videos. It's not. It's just not my thing, because I genuinely feel beyond the basic positioning tutorial that you're just you're just showing people, hey, you might get lucky if you do this and if you know how to do this, because that's what the game comes down to, and that's why I really don't do tutorials too much, because you can be the best player in the world and you're still going to have those games where absolutely nothing works for you. Now, why I went on that side tangent, I don't know, but I had the Bruins game on my mind and I had that on my mind. So you never know what you're going to get from me, and that's charming, isn't it? But anyway, first period of Game 2. Of course, we have a 1-0 series lead in the Stanley Cup Final, which is a good spot to be in. Can we get off to a good start here, though? A goal in the first period would be nice. Multiple goals in the first period would really be nice. Let's see what happens. Holy shit, I forgot to sort it, and there were no goals anyway. So again, wow, man, 19 shots to 5. You can't even say that we won the first period. Was it one-sided? Yeah, but St. Louis, they won that first 20 minutes because they didn't give up a goal. Damn. All right, second period. We need to get the offense going, and we do. It is Shea Theodore on Evan Fitzpatrick. 30 shots to 13. Now that's relevant as we have the lead. As we enter the third period, we're going to need some insurance. I doubt that we'll keep Tarasenko specifically off the board. I mean, I'm worried about other players on the team. Yuri Laterra, Tyler Seguin, though, 49 seconds later. But Tarasenko's going to be a problem. And again, Hanu Herme gave up the goal from a terrible angle. What is up with that? We're under 2 minutes to go. Can we hold on? Yes, we can. Tyler Seguin with the empty netter. It's a 3-1 win for the Bruins, and we take advantage of that home ice, winning both games to start this series. Again, the two best teams in the NHL all year going head-to-head, and we strike first. We win our 2 games at home. That is a perfect way to start this series. Yes, it is. And the good thing is we'll be able to continue to just quickly go through these games because we don't need to make a lineup change. We are good to go. We are winning. And if we win Game 3, we are going to put St. Louis in a very, very rough spot. So let's see if we can do that. I'm still sitting here thinking, did I make my point? Was my point clear and concise enough about what I wanted to say as far as tutorial videos? Because I didn't want to make it seem like it was a shot at people who make certain videos or people that, are in good graces with EA, because it wasn't. But I'm going to stop digging my own hole now. It's already... I'm beyond 6 feet under with whatever the hell I've said already. But anyway, it is Game 3. It is the first period. Yes, I'm a little bit under the weather, but that's okay. We're going to go because we're going to win the cup, and I'm going to feel a hell of a lot better. First period, scoreless again. Damn. 3 games in a row, scoreless in the first period. Second period, can we get on the board? We can't. And for the second time now, in 4 games, or in 3 games, I should say. For the second time, no, Jesus. Yeah, for the second time in 3 games. This is Game 3. Jesus. We enter the third period scoreless. Who will get that first goal? Who will get that, so important first goal? I would love for it to be Seguin. I would love for it to be Pasternak. We are halfway through this third period. They're doing pretty well in the shot total, but we kill off that power play. We have one of our own. We can't do anything with it. This game's coming down to the wire. Wow. Now, the Bruins and Blues have some history in terms of Stanley Cup finals. And this game might go down as a classic in and of itself. Scoreless, heading in to overtime here in Game 3. Will we walk away with a commanding 3-0 series lead? Or will the Blues tie it and prove that we have a series on our hands? Let's find out. It is overtime. Game 3, early power play for the Blues is killed. Early power play for the Bruins. We can't do anything with it. Come on, we need one of our big names to step up. We are halfway through this overtime period. Please, somebody. Anybody? Seguin? Pasta? Keller? Double overtime. Damn. Double overtime. In Game 3, the Blues are not going down without a fight. I guess on the bright side, you do have Hanu Herme going toe-to-toe with Evan Fitzpatrick. That is a pretty good sign. Second overtime. Will it end quickly? Yes, it will. It'll end very quickly. Robbie Fabry, 27 seconds into the second overtime. Damn. He gets the goal on Hanu Herme, and the Blues aren't done yet. 1-0 in double overtime. What a game. What a game. And unfortunately, the cup is not in the building. We do not have a chance to seal it. And that's the real unfortunate thing, is the only way we could avoid Alex Pietrangelo is if we swept the Blues. He will be back for Game 5, in Boston unless they play him injured in this game, which they very well could. I personally wouldn't, but you never know with the way the AI GMs are programmed. Maybe he's in, maybe he's not. But regardless, we're not making a change. We won't even think about making a change unless, and I hate to say it, unless this game goes poorly, which obviously I hope it doesn't. It is Game 4 in St. Louis. Will we take a 3-1 series lead, or will we be all tied up heading back to Boston for Game 5? It's time to find out. First period, and it's a goal apiece. Tommy Vannelli and David Pastrnak. So both teams finally get on the board in the first period. Second period, can we take the lead? Yes, we can. We couldn't hold it. Joel Lampkin gives us the lead. Kiroux scored with 1:26 to go, and then a minute later, at the death, it is Stromwall tying this game up, restoring that one-goal lead. A 3-2 advantage for the Bruins as we head into the third period. We need insurance. We do. I don't care if it's Geico. I don't care if it's Allstate. Anybody outside of the U.S. might not get that. Maybe you do. I don't know. I don't care. Come on. We need that extra goal. Under 5 minutes to go. Will Hanu Herme shut the door? We might not need that extra goal, but we get it anyway. Dennis Cholowski, the empty netter, and the Bruins are one game away from securing the Stanley Cup. Stromwall, your first star with a 2-point night. I do want to take a look, though. Did Alex Pietrangelo? Yes, he did. He played. He wasn't fully healthy, and he was a -2 as a result. A rough night for Pietrangelo. Of course, if I did that, he would have broken his leg in the very next game. But that's okay, and we have a chance. Game 5 on home ice to win another Stanley Cup, which would obviously be great. Now, we are going to be, in the spirit of the Jacobs family, we're going to raise ticket prices for this because, my God, a chance for the Bruins to win it on home ice? You're absolutely right that we're raising ticket prices. You know what? We're going to be a big time accurate representation of this family. And let's go to the max recommended price, shall we? You people want to pay to see this, don't you? Come on, we need to accurately represent the Jacobs family and squeeze every penny out of the Bruins fans that we can. Excuse me, that wasn't a statement. Geez, I'm taking shots at everybody in this episode, aren't I? I apologize. I don't know what's gotten into me today. But anyway, we're not going to make any lineup changes. We're good to go. It is Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. Our first chance of 3, potentially. We'll hope that's not the case. But our first chance to secure the cup. And it comes on home ice. Let's go. First period is scoreless. I was hoping for a 6-0 blowout, personally. Much like the other Blues, but that did not happen. Second period, can we get the opening goal? We cannot, and it's Jake DeBrusk. He finally shows up. Third period, please don't let Jake DeBrusk get the game winner to rob us of a cup on home ice. It might actually happen. It really might actually happen. Tage Thompson with the goal. We're under 5 minutes to go. And the Bruins, I guess, were celebrating. Potentially. I guess they were celebrating before the game was actually played. Jeff Skinner ties the game up with 1 minute and 2 to go. He ruins the shutout. That doesn't matter. The Blues live to see another day. Tage Thompson with the GWG. And we have blown our chance to win the cup on home ice. A 2-1 loss in Game 5. And I might make a lineup change here. I'm really not happy about that. I know Evan Fitzpatrick is a strong goalie. We needed to win that. We absolutely needed to win that. That first line will stay the same. Nolan Patrick, man. You need to figure it out. You need to figure it out. Like, I get if he were to be like the Bergeron type. And in fairness, we do have him as a two-way forward, but as a playmaker, as a sniper, as a power forward, he wasn't putting up the points. You know, I mean, that was a steal to get him how we did. But I'm concerned about his future as a Bruin. Now, Gurianov only has 5 points. So we're going to drop Gurianov. We're going to give Riley Tufte a chance on that line. And I think that's the only change we will make. Defensively, Carlo's still struggling, but not as much as he was. Lampkin's doing all right with a goal. He is a -2. So what I am going to do is put Carlo with Cholowski, Valimaki with Lampkin, and of course, Hanu Herme will still be the man in goal for us. I think that's all we can do. We're not going to make any drastic changes until, which hopefully that doesn't happen. But those drastic changes won't be made unless we have to play a game on June 2nd. Let's hope we can end this right here, right now. Home ice advantage is almost out the door for us. It is. Oh, this is a rough spot now. I thought we were good to go. We might not be. Game 6, the Blues on home ice. On home ice. We got to win at the Scott Trade Center. All right, let's do this. I can't build it up anymore. First period, and it's Nolan Patrick. We say, thank you. He listens. The game listens. It knows. The Xbox has a hidden microphone, and this game is programmed to listen to you. Nolan Patrick with the first goal of the game on Evan Fitzpatrick. And we have the lead, but we have a long way to go. Second period, Tyler Seguin makes it 2-0. Okay, we're looking all right. We're looking good. Can we hold the lead? Third period, let's go. I'm probably not going to jump in to this game. Nolan Patrick makes it 3-0, a 2-goal night. Oh, should I jump in? I wish this was live so I could ask if you want to see the celebration, because it is happening. David Pastrnak. You know what? Let's watch it. This episode's going to be long enough as it is. David Pastrnak makes it 4-0, and we are good to go. You know, I don't care if I'm the one playing it right now. I don't care. It's fine. We will quickly play the last 40 seconds of this because the Bruins have won the Stanley Cup yet again. Expect this video to be over half an hour because we'll still have to look at the stats and at the awards. But it is another successful season for the Bruins. The Brincat, the Wrister, Tufte. Oh my God, that would have been amazing. People said I needed to play at least one game with this team. Well, I hope this is good enough for you. As Cholowski, oh my God, Tage Thompson. What an animal. Cholowski, Riley Tufte. What do we have here? We're going to have to dump that in. Grind it out, Pasta. Grind out the clock. Punch DeBrusk in the face. Punch him in the face. I'm going to try to fight Jake DeBrusk. Fuck him. You're on the losing end again, son. You are on the losing end again as we grind out the clock. Hanu Herme shuts out the Blues in Game 6, and the Bruins are your Stanley Cup champions. Did I expect this? No. Did I expect us to win 64 games in the regular season with this team? Of course not. Yes, the goaltending, only 85s, a little bit. I don't even know who our captain is. I haven't paid attention to that. I think it's Nolan Patrick. That's the thing. Captaincy, I haven't paid attention to because it's not worth screwing up the morale for. Hanu Herme wins the Conn Smythe. Hopefully that stays true. It should with a .939 save percentage, but we've seen that in the past where we go to the awards and it hands it to somebody else. But the goaltending was a big question mark. 285 overall goalies. The defense completely reworked, which a little bit controversial in that way. But again, when you have the assets we do, when you have so many valuable players. You have no choice but to go out and get other big players that represent fair value. Offensively, not the strongest on paper. It's actually Cholowski who is our captain. I forgot. Yeah, that's right. We gave Cholowski captaincy to hope that he rebounded. And that's potentially the biggest story of this season. Not that we won the Stanley Cup, not that we won 64 games, but that we were able to survive Cholowski and his morale issues in the prior postseason. We accidentally sat him for that one game, and it looked like for sure he would be on his way out. He wasn't. The biggest victim of that is Charlie McAvoy, who didn't get into the lineup as a result, and it's looking like we are probably going to trade Charlie McAvoy. Other than that, he stays down in Providence, but that's a whole different problem for another time. Of course, we have an interesting offseason to look forward to, where I'm sure this team will continue to change as I get bitched out for constantly dumping the puck when we're up 4-0. That is lovely. As you get a look at the stats, interesting sim stats, really. But Nolan Patrick, 2 goals. He was your first star. Hano Herme, the 24 save shutout, and then Pasta with a 2-point night. And the Bruins are your Stanley Cup champions yet again. A wonderful feeling. A wonderful feeling. And again, I am looking forward. We have at least 1 or 2 more seasons to go. We will definitely re-sign with the Bruins here. I was tempted to maybe pick a different offer. We will definitely have at least 1 or 2 more seasons, as we have to wait for the Calder Cup finals to wrap up before we look at starting a new series. Of course, as I've said a million times, I will continue to say it in case people have missed it. I want to wait for the real-life NHL trade deadline. Between then and now, or really for the past month or so, I've put a lot more effort as well into editing the rosters. You will have certain players that will be even better. They'll have more accurate potentials, like Austin Matthews, Patrick Laine, Mitch Marner. A lot of players, even someone like Radek Faksa, Sebastian Aho was someone that I know has changed a lot. The Columbus Blue Jackets have gotten a lot of attention paid to them. So there will be a lot of changes, and the sim will hopefully play out a little bit differently. And of course, as always, we'll try to keep it realistic at the start, and that will eventually crumble because that's just the game isn't set up for that. But as you get a look at the stats, Stromwall was our leading point scorer in this postseason. A strong accomplishment for him. Of course, the defense and physical category really hold him back, but offensively he is undeniable. Tyler Seguin, Jeremy Waugh. I mean, what a team. What a team this was. Again, perhaps not the strongest on paper, but the Bruins, they made it work. And we survived some injury scares and a real scare against the Montreal Canadiens. Hano Herme played 23 of 24 games, 16-5 record with a .941 save percentage. He better have actually won the Conn Smythe. But there you have it. There you have it. This is our 3rd cup because we won in the first year. I think. That was so long ago. I'm pretty sure this is our 3rd cup and our first in 3 seasons. Of course, for the 2nd year in a row, we won the President's Trophy, which is lovely. We'll take a look at the player awards. Connor McDavid wins the Art Ross for the 2nd time, or the 2nd consecutive year. He also won the Hart for the 2nd consecutive year. Jeremy Waugh wins the Norris, as you would kind of expect, given his overall. He is a beast. Austin Matthews wins the Lady Byng. The Calder goes to a player on the Islanders. It is Boakfist, or I don't know. Conn Smythe does go to Hano Herme, and it continues the trend of goaltenders. 3 straight years now, a goaltender has won the Conn Smythe. The Vezina goes to Frederik Andersen, so Leafs fans rejoice. The Jennings to Hano Herme, and Evan Sawchuk. Jake McCabe wins the Masterton. Austin Matthews wins his 2nd Selke. The Ted Lindsay to McDavid, and the Rocket Richard to Tarasenko, who was pretty quiet in that final. I believe he only had 1 goal. So the big player that we were worried about didn't quite show up. Down in the AHL, the Utica Comets, of course, won the Calder Cup. The Bruins run of dominance, it might be over. It certainly came to an end in the first round, or their playoff run came to an end in the first round. Taylor Radish takes home some hardware. Will Bitten, Grabeshkov, the leading goal scorer for him. We're going to have to look out for him. He might be a beast. Coming up for the Habs, Riley Stillman wins the Eddie Shore Award. Will he crack the NHL lineup next year? I do not know. Shane Finger won Goalie of the Year. And that's a huge question as we move forward. Will he be ready? Will he be ready for next year? Hollett, Radish, Ian Cole down in Texas. Not bad. And somebody named Percy for the Syracuse Crunch. There are the awards for this season. As this season comes to a close, we are once again champions, which, is it super exciting when you take home this much hardware and there isn't that struggle? Like, one of these days we'll have a series where we don't win a cup at all. Like, we'll go through like full 10 years, we just won't win anything. And then we'll remember back to these series where it's like, man, it was fun winning cups and having great teams. But once again, we are Stanley Cup champions. Pittsburgh in 6, Montreal in 7, Florida in 5, and then the St. Louis Blues in 6. That will do it. I got nothing else to say. I don't. I am fresh out of ideas or things to say. So with that, I leave you until next time, where we go through the draft and begin all of this all over again. We'll have probably the same team on paper, and we'll lose 64 games, because that's just how this game works. Guys, I hope you did enjoy. Of course, if you did, I'd like to think you've already hit that like button to help support me. You've hit the subscribe button to follow what I do here, and I feel confident in saying that if you've already done that, you will be here next time as we continue our journey with the Bruins, as we look to do it all over again next year. I will see you guys next time.